Hi guys, so this will be my first video of the testimonies that I will be sharing. So this dates back to 2010, I believe. So the very first risk that we ever took in our life was taking our tax return and moving to South Dakota. My husband's job, they were closing down out here in Las Vegas, and construction really took a hit. And so we were he was out of a job. He was able to transfer with a company to another state, but they didn't pay enough. So I mean, we would have just been suffering in another state, and we didn't want to take that risk. So we had already had 2 babies, and we were pregnant with our 3rd child, which I didn't even tell anybody about until I was 6 months pregnant. And I told my mom the day we were moving that I was pregnant. It was something I just kind of kept from everybody. I was 4 months postpartum and found out I was pregnant again. So I had a 4-month-old baby and pregnant again, and that was very hard for me to accept, and I really didn't want the criticism of that in my life at that time. So I just felt the best thing was to hide it from everybody, and it was a pregnancy that I was not happy about, and I guess I spent the rest of that pregnancy kind of, I don't know, I felt like I just didn't want to have that baby. But by the time I came to have him, it was the most beautiful thing ever. We'd never take it back for the world. It was just that phase of my life. So we had sold everything that we own, and we moved into my cousin's house about a month before we left. And we went with our tax return. We bought a truck, we bought a trailer to put our belongings, the rest of our belongings in, and we had no job lined up. We had no credit, probably bad credit, but we decided that risk was better than staying in Las Vegas and raising our kids, and we didn't really feel like we had anything here to hold us down, so we just went off. And we chose South Dakota because of the oil boom, and Rapid City was a really nice town, close enough because the oil was actually in North Dakota. And so we did that. And on our way out there, it was in the middle of February, so it was icy roads, crazy conditions, and we had stopped at a convenience store to go to the restroom, and this was a very busy place, people coming in and out, and my baby just woke up. Say hi, Brentley. So when I had went to the restroom, I had found $150 on the floor in $50 bills. So where I was at in my life right then, I took it. And I was really excited because we were really running thin. I mean, we couldn't even mess up anything. You know, we didn't have enough money for any mistakes. And probably about an hour later, one of our tires on our truck blew. And we were out in the middle of Wyoming, which is flat land, nowhere. And that money, literally every last penny, covered a tow truck to come out and fix our tire for us. And I felt that was really God, just because we had so much trust and faith that us moving like that was going to work out, and that God had it in His hands, and we really believed that. And so that was one of the ways He showed up for us on that trip. And then when we had got to South Dakota, we were staying in hotels. My husband was trying to find jobs. He really wasn't having much of luck in anything that paid anything really good. Were going on 1 month of being in a hotel, and we were at our last penny. And when we were staying at our hotel, there was a gentleman that my husband had ran into, and they were just small talking about hunting, and he had told him about this water drilling company, and that is where my husband ended up getting a job and making really great money. And then it was coming to find a place, and we didn't have any credit. And so we knew we were going to have a problem, and we were looking at places way, like, really horrible places, so to speak, and nobody was working with us, and I thought it was crazy because these places were really trashy. And So we had found the most perfect, beautiful home, and we had met with a gentleman, and we just told him our story, what we were doing, and he ended up not doing an application on us. He was a Christian man as well, and he took what money we had in our pocket, which was like a couple $100, and he gave us the keys to the house. And my husband hadn't even been at his job 2 weeks, and he really trusted in us. I guess somehow, I know that was God really showing up and for us in that way. And my husband was expecting a severance pay, and when we were going to move out of the hotel, we literally weren't going to have any money, and I think we were afraid at that time that we weren't going to have enough money to even leave the hotel. But he went to the audit guy at night, and he did all this math, and I mean, it was like $200 cheaper than it was supposed to be, and he was the audit guy. So that was just another blessing that came from that, and just the risks that came with such a long journey. And there was just so many other miscellaneous things on that trip that just happened, one thing after another, and that was just clearly God. None of that would have been possible without him, and for him to show up. My husband got a great job. I mean, we held on to our faith to the last minute. I mean, we were a month in and no job offers, no place to stay, and within a week he had a job and we had a place to live, and it was way more than our expectations could ever ask. And I mean, we didn't end up settling for nothing. And it was just so remarkable how, you know, God will show up when we have trust and faith in him. And I don't know, I think we were just felt like we were on a vacation of a lifetime, and that we didn't have to come back to Las Vegas. So I think there was a lot of excitement going on that we actually got out of Las Vegas, and that was the reason why we didn't break when things weren't, you know, seemingly gonna work out. And we were just so excited. We didn't care if we ended up homeless. It was beautiful out there. And to look back now and just see how significant God's work is just amazing. And that is just one of our amazing stories. I'm sure there's some things I missed in that story, but that is just the gist of it. And he just keeps working in our life, and I'm really excited to continue to share our other stories much like these. And thanks for listening, and please share. Thanks.